and Vision Network. I am so excited to feature this series, which is Grow Your Food System. So this is my Grow Your Food System live. I know that you guys have already been watching videos. Why? Because you've seen my ones that I've done earlier on my herbs that are growing outside and the fact that I bought them from Prairie Wind, and they just started out small and they grew bigger, bigger, bigger. So now that I don't have to buy any rosemary, I don't have to buy any sage. Why? Because I'm growing my own. I'm bringing it in. I'm making that food system smaller. So these are tips and tricks and things that you can do in order to make your food system smaller and tighter, save you some money, make sure you don't have to have some fluctuations in what you're doing, giving you a couple of the people that I follow that I absolutely love, and just creating the space for you to grow and create incredible food and learn incredible skills to help you really enjoy food and enjoy all about it. Now, why in the world do I love food, y'all. I love to eat. I love to learn about food. I love to learn about health and wellness and things like that. So it's always something that I have a great time doing. So let's go ahead and look at this. If you want to continue to get all of this content, you can do this in several different places. One, subscribe to my network. Why? Because my network is amazing. I have a gardening channel for you guys that are just strictly into gardening. I have channels on sports and music and visiting Norman and business and life, self-improvement. I've got a comedy channel called Boy Dad. I mean, there's a lot of fun stuff on my network, so don't forget to like and subscribe and get involved in that. Let's start with garden skills. Why? Because guess what? I didn't always come out this way. People think I did. But ultimately, when I was very young, I had a garden. My mom and dad had big gardens in Minnesota. And so when I was a little kid, we would go out and we would pick plants. I got so good at it when I was very little that my aunt came and helped us one time. And when she did, she picked one of our plants. And I threw a fit. I was like 3 or 4 years old. And I was like, don't pick that plant. And so ultimately what happened was she had picked one of our plants. So I taught her how to garden. So I come by it, honestly. And then I had a garden when we moved to Altus, Oklahoma. Beautiful garden, tomatoes and all this fun stuff. It was hot down there, let me tell you. Well, now I live in Norman, Oklahoma. And so for me, the idea of gardening is very, very important. The idea of now growing food for my family, because again, I've got 2 growing boys, I got a beautiful wife, and I want to make sure that we have the best food possible. And if I know that I grew it, I know it's the best food. So I'm like, but I needed to learn. And there's so many different ways to learn. Hello, Raymundo. Welcome. I'm so glad you subscribed. I appreciate it. So I needed to learn. I needed to make sure that I had everything set. And so I'm like, where do I learn? Well, first off, I started to look at food. So when I look at what I eat, I look at for vitamins, what kind of minerals I'm getting, is it healthy for me, how much sugar is in it, all of those things, and then decide whether it's something I want to do or not. So I know there's iron in beef. I know there's a lot of iron in chicken breasts. I know that vitamin A and lycopenes and stuff like that are in strawberries. As I know all about grapes and grape skins and all the stuff that goes with grapes. I know potassium in bananas. Of course, we don't natively grow bananas in Oklahoma, so I have to source that from other places. But I know, of course, the vitamin C and all the different things that we're eating. I'm looking at those vitamins and bringing them in to create the best food system for my family. But if I'm like, what kind of soil do I need to use? I've got resources here. I've got colleges and universities, whether it's OSU Extension offices or other places like that. Or I also have YouTube. YouTube is a phenomenal resource. So if you need to get to know different places that you want to start either a homestead, I got a couple homesteaders and I have some backyard gardeners. The homesteaders that started out as backyard gardeners that I watch religiously are Roots and Refuge Farm. I love Roots and Refuge Farm. Maya and Jess, they've gone a long ways from Arkansas to the Carolinas. The kids are growing up, they're all graduating, and it's been super fun to watch. So I love watching them. They're a large scale farm. They have like 40 acres and a whole bunch of greenhouses. So sometimes that does not relate in that I am a small backyard farmer, so that's a little bit different, or fall gardener, so that's a little bit different. The second people that I absolutely love is I love Nate and Jill from Whispering Willow Farms. They are in Arkansas, and so they're in the Conway, Arkansas area. And again, I love, they got kids, they're young, they're building, but they too have greenhouses and they got acreage and they have all these things and animals and all that. So I love watching them because I gain skills. They tell me what it is I need to learn about soil, learn about plants, learn about companion planting, learn about how to grow something inexpensively because they started out that way. So there's different skills that they have available. I can always check their library of videos and it's phenomenal. Locally in Oklahoma, one of my very favorite people has no YouTube channel. I wish she did. And that is Blaze Baxter from Bad Baxter Farm. I adore this person. I really do. She is incredible. She is a purist. And I will tell you, you know, when you watch those videos when you were younger, there was like a low intensity person, a medium intensity person, and a high intensity person. I'll give you an example. I think Whispering Willows is my low intensity gardener I can relate to a lot. Roots and Refuge is my medium intensity where you're like, yeah, they're doing amazing things. High intensity is most definitely Bad Baxter Farm. She has a Facebook page and group. You want to get in on that. She is a purist. She has so many specific opinions about things that, you know what, but I adore her and she challenges me and makes me think about food. So I really appreciate that. So check her out. Now, the other thing that you need to know is you need to get to know your farmers. I go to farmers markets. I like to meet people, sit down and talk to them. Where are you from? What are you doing? What are you growing? We start to talk about knowing the cycles of food. So you're getting greens and all that early on right now. It is currently April in Oklahoma. In Oklahoma in April, you're going to get onions. You're going to get lettuce. You're not getting tomatoes, at least not grown outside. You're getting tomatoes that might be grown in a greenhouse, but not outside. I said, so those are kind of the areas of food that I'm looking for right now. Strawberries will be coming in May and June. I'm looking forward to that. Once we hit June, I'm looking for melons and the tomatoes start to change colors. I should have, at that point, my orange tomatoes, my red tomatoes, and the tomatoes will start to ramp up. Cantaloupe should arrive in about May or June and July, and in that area, we start to see that. May is a little early. June, July, we start to see our melons. And then watermelons and all that are coming in. At that point, you got okra and you got beautiful eggplants. And so the color palette of the farmer's market changes with the season. So you want to make sure that you're getting in on that color palette in the summertime. It helps you grow all your food and do what you need to do. So getting to know my farmers lets me know, oh, I need to go see Bucky because Bucky's going to have what I need when it comes to cantaloupe. Or I need to go see Jennifer, because Jennifer has what I need for lettuce. So there's all these things that you get to know people and know what they're doing. Plus, you build relationships. How to cook on a fire, how to cook on a grill. For several reasons, this is a good thing for you. Not only because what if you lose electricity? What if you don't have electricity? What if, the electrical grid shuts down? How are you going to cook? So learning how to cook on a fire is fantastic. It also teaches you a lot, teaches you about the way food can taste, whether you're growing vegetables or seafood or all the things. It is a phenomenal way of cooking. So I love grilling and I love cooking on a fire. Foraging. Now, foraging is a little unique. Thank you for the hearts, everyone. I appreciate that. I really do. Hello. Good to see you. So I really, really, really like foraging. Foraging is really interesting for me. The one thing I would watch out for is I would watch out for foraging just randomly. I want you to learn something, so make sure you know what's going on. Easy fire meals. One of the things I think of when I think of cooking, especially over a fire, is obviously steak. I like steak. I like chicken. You just grill it. I don't mess around with steak. I don't put a lot of stuff on it. It's garlic salt, onion salt, that's it. And if you put steak sauce on it, we're not friends. I'm just saying that right now. So there's a lot of things like that. You guys, I'm going to go ahead and keep going and I'll get back to, it does sound awesome and my mouth is watering right now. Thank you so much. So yeah, but learning about plants and making sure that when you're foraging the right things. It's morel season here in Oklahoma, so everybody's going out to get morel mushrooms. You need to know what a morel is. You need to know the berries you're eating are healthy for you and safe, and that you're not going to. So You need to learn from foragers or get a foraging book or resources to make that happen. Because I want to make sure that you are getting the right thing and you're keeping yourself safe and all of that. Sorry, I like it when I really. People are talking about food right now, and I'm telling you, underneath, go ahead, jump in the chat. If you guys want to talk about food, please do that. So it is amazing. But you need to learn about plants too, because again, you need to know whether they are drought tolerant. Again, I live in Oklahoma. Now I live in central Oklahoma, central and east. There's a whole lot more water. But if I used to live in Altus, where it's central west, that is like desert, high plains kind of area, and that is very dry. They have water issues, so you got to be careful and make sure you know how much water you need. And then again, how much water is available to you, because if you're not doing some regenerative farming and stuff like that to create a system where you can maintain the moisture in your soil, then ultimately it's going to dry out, and you need to figure out how to work that and when you need to water at nighttime, in the morning, and things like that. So you kind of work through that. Let's see. You need to build relationships. This is relationships with people that you trust, people that you want to watch, people that you want to learn from. Again, I encourage you to get on my gardening channel on this network. Why? Because that is a very important resource. It has a whole bunch of opportunities for you to learn. And I planted stuff and talked about it. And I can tell you a lot on that area. Let's see. Pantry staples. This is something I do every 6 months. I don't know that everybody does that. I go through my pantry. I go through my spices. Why? Because one, I want to know how much I'm buying of everything, and if I can grow it, then I don't have to buy it. And then making my sauces. I love making spaghetti sauces for hours. We're talking like starting with the oil and the onions and the garlic, and then I throw in my herbs that I grow. So I have sage and rosemary, and I've got garlic scapes that I have on my own. I've got all kinds of fun stuff. I mean, it is basil in the summertime. I'm working on it. If you watch my video from earlier, I got little baby basils growing right now. So I am super excited about growing that because we use it for pasta. My wife likes Marry Me soup. So I put that in there. And so again, it's just growing as much as I can. This year, my goal is to learn how to do sun-dried tomatoes. I've never done that. I've never tried it. So I'm going to learn how to do sun-dried tomatoes because we used a lot of them this season. And I'd like to make a bunch and see if I can figure that out. Because if I can do that, then that will save me, what, $3-4 every time that I make that soup. And I've made it a lot because it's amazing. But so I need to make sure and learn how to do that. Then it saves us money and it's better food because I know that I did it and I like control over that system. Learning how to can, and I'm going to be really honest with you. My canning is not probably FDA approved. I just like it hot in there until the thing pops and then it seals. Yeah, that's not the way you can. So if you really want to learn canning, there's some channels out there that are really good at it, and they really dig in and create like great canning options. They do water bathing, they do all this other fun stuff. One of the things I did learn, I thought that's really interesting, is that people will fill empty jars with water for a couple of reasons. One, it keeps the jars full, and two, if you ever need water, you have water in it. For me, I'm thinking, would I have like sauce tasting water? So it's just fascinating for me, and I'm like, so it was just an interesting way of keeping their canning jars full. Also, that they tighten it up, once it pops, they take the ring off. So the ring is used, just the lid is stuck on there, and I was like, huh. So the ring is supposed to be like a temporary thing, and then you take it off. I was like, not leave it on there all the time. Yeah, learning things every day. Every day I'm learning what's happening. So it's just fascinating. And then cooking from scratch. Now, I will be honest, when I first started, I am a recipe following fool when it comes to baking. Why? Because I get scared when I bake. I get scared that, and I'm going to tell you, I overcook stuff. It doesn't always work. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. I appreciate it. It doesn't always work, and I will end up overcooking things and undercooking things. I burned a roast one time, and it was an expensive lesson. That's beef, y'all, and I was like, it was so bad. I tried to eat it. I held on to it like every good leftover and then threw it away because it was just terrible. And I was like, this is ridiculous. And I was like, I can't do this. So I had to learn how to cook. So I learned how to cook from scratch. I learned that when I'm cooking food, I can be creative. I can put stuff in there. I can make sure that, you know what, I'm going to try this spice or that spice. If my wife's like, I want Mexican food, well, then I know I need to have some oregano in it. It needs to have some cumin in it, some garlic in it, some tomato in it. I mean, those are the flavor profile she likes. And I want to make sure that that's in her food. I'm going to add certain spices, certain peppers, certain things like that. Not too spicy because that's not where she's at, but there's other people like super spicy. So you have all these things that you kind of do in those areas. If I'm cooking something that's a roast or potatoes, let me tell you my favorite thing to cook. I love roasted potatoes. But with roasted potatoes, I put olive oil in it, cube them. I will then, with skin on it, I don't mind the skin, and then I will go ahead and put a little bit of olive oil, put garlic salt, garlic pepper, onion, or garlic powder, onion powder. I'm going to put sage and basil and rosemary and thyme, and I'm going to put everything in there. And it's all my herbs that I grow. I'm going to mix it all up, let it sit. I'm going to roast it in an oven for 60 minutes on like a cookie sheet, and I'm going to flip it every once in a while. It's going to have a golden crust on the outside, and I'm going to stick a pat of butter right there. And I'm going to just dump those potatoes on that butter till it's glossy, and I'm going to sit there and eat a roasted potato with a butter and a steak right next to it, and tell you what, that is my favorite meal. I absolutely love it. I love making it. I love grilling it. I love it. And I'm like, my wife and I'll sit here and have dinner together, and I will honor her and spoil her. And I think that is an important part of every part of my relationship, is to be able to cook things that she loves and to enjoy it as well. I love to cook. I enjoy it. It's very soothing for me. It helps me focus. Why? Because when all the things are crazy out here, I know that I've got to focus on cooking. Why do I have to focus on cooking? Because if I don't focus on cooking and you're chopping with a knife, do you know what happens? You could cut a finger off. So you really have to focus on what you're doing. When I'm mixing things and using heat, I've got to pay attention. If I don't, I'm going to burn something. So everything gets, all the noise gets shut out, and I get to focus on food and focus on doing something that I know people are going to love and enjoy and create. And I think that is something I really, really love. So when I get to start that and create that and build that and provide for my family, I love that. Like, that is something that's so important to me. And so I love it. My food system, my people that I know, I get to know people. I mean, I'm checking on people. I'm a weather person, so if I'm like, oh, my girl out there on that, I said, that's Bad Baxter Farm. If there's a storm coming, I'm gonna be like, hey, check it out. Be careful. Why? Because I want to protect that farm and her as well, because guess what? I want to learn more from her. She's phenomenal. By the way, if you want to go encourage her on Facebook on Bad Baxter Farm to have a YouTube channel, she's got all kinds of opinions. All kinds of opinions. I've learned a lot about butchering. That I may not be the one that's able to do that, but I honor people that do, and I've seen it done, and I know where food comes from. So those that do it either on farm, I said, is it amazing? We have a butcher that actually goes to your place. It's called Backyard Butchery, and they will bring a trailer and they will cull the animal on your farm, and they do it right there. So the animal never leaves the farm. That's phenomenal to me. It honors the animal. They know how they've been raised, the whole thing that goes with it. So I think that that's important. But I also am like, okay, I like balance. I like vegetables. I like fruit. And I know some people are like purists. All veggies, all meat, all this. I can't. I like a balance. I like some of everything. And that's just the way it is. I have been around the wine industry for a very long time, so I've learned about grape growing. When I first started learning about grape growing, I learned what the words meant, what kind of grapes there were, what kind of regions they grew in, how to say the names, the measurements, what a Brix was, all those things. And I looked at all that. Well, that's the researcher in me. And so I do that same thing with food. I'm learning, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that does. So I dig into it and I research it and I understand it. And I'm learning more and more and more. So that's what I would encourage you to do. I want you to learn. I want you to practice your skills. I want you to learn from gardeners. I want you to, of course, watch my channels and learn from me. I would love that. I appreciate all of you, and I hope that you will subscribe to this network and keep learning and keep growing and keep eating and keep laughing and keep listening to music and just being creative, because that is where we are. We need everyone to be grounded and learning and creating. And I thank you so much for watching. You guys, let me go ahead and say some thank yous real quick. Hold on, sorry. Let's see. Thank you to Tapwater, and thank you to Wrong Turn. I'll just say that. Let's see. Thank you to Shivani and Caleb and nobody. I said thank you so much. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.